All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to another episode of Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach and Nick Westbrooks. And this show is brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team and the 7 Spheres of Money system. And before we get started, hit that like button, share with at least 5 people. And if you're not subscribed to DJ the Money Coach on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so you can receive the notifications when we go live. And you can help us spread the message and the good news of the Pom Pom Lifestyle movement, which cannot be stopped. And the Pom Pom Lifestyle is plenty of money, peace of mind, and we invite you each and every day to join us on the beaches of the World Club. So happy Friday, DJ. How you feeling tonight?
What's happening, Nick? I'm feeling awesome, man, because we are back to our regular weather. So I am excited, man. And as I always say, any day above ground with your health is an amazing day. And today is no exception to the rule because it's an amazing day. We had 81 degrees outside and it's going to be 81 tomorrow. And we're going to be back to the regular channel of the regular warm weather that we're accustomed to. So I can't do anything but smile because the future's so bright. I got to wear shades, baby. Absolutely. So hello to everybody out there. Hopefully you are having a wonderful week and your Friday is off to a fabulous start, getting ready to rush into Super Bowl weekend. So it's all about that Benjamins, $8 million for a 30-second commercial spot. So they're going to, clean up. Well, you might say they have cleaned up because they've already collected those checks. So if you are entertaining and you're spending money and you're having a good time and you have taken care of all the basics, then I take my hat off to you. But if you haven't, we need to get back to the basics. Number one, let's get the good feeling. Get out of debt. Get out of debt, the good feeling, okay? So that first and foremost, that starts with you, paying off all your consumable debt. Number two, having yourself an emergency fund. And let that emergency fund be at least 3 months of your gross monthly income. And if you're on the right side, you should be at least 6 months. And if you are a professional middle class, you should have yourself up to 12 months. Because right now, a lot of things have been rolled back. All right. So get out of debt, get that emergency fund. The third thing is make sure you are fully funding your Roth IRA, your 401k, your 403b, your 401a, your pension. Make sure you are funding those in the correct order. Okay? So that's number 3. Number 4, if you're looking to make a major purchase in the next 5 years, make sure you have a investment retirement account, and that should consist of individual stocks, mutual funds, and annuities. Well, no, not annuities. I take that back, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about for the next 5 years. So that should be mutual funds, individual stocks, and load those with fintech and dividend stocks. And for the much younger crowd, the millennials and after them, you should be loading up on the crypto because, crypto is here and it's not going anywhere. As soon as the government decides to regulate it, as you see, your president has decided to create a U.S. sovereign fund, which is ridiculous. But that's the time, and the times are changing. Okay. And then number 5, if you are a small business owner like ourselves, you should make sure that you have a self-employment pension plan, an individual 401k, or if you have a mid to bigger size company, you should have a KEO. Then on the insurance side, you should make sure that you have the proper insurance policies in place. A key man policy, workers' comp. Have your operating, orders in place. These are things that are very, very important. And make sure you're fully funding them. All right. Make sure that you take inventory of everything that's rocking and rolling and make sure that you have sent out, your 1099s, your 1098s. And make sure you're preparing yourself for March business taxes, and you as individuals, make sure you are, preparing your tax returns. And those who are really desperate and have already probably filed, do yourself a favor. Don't borrow against those things. When you get those tax returns, pay off the discernible debt. Pay down those credit cards. Apply some money to your emergency fund. If you have young children, apply money to your Coverdell Roth IRAs. These are things you ought to be doing in that particular order. Reassess in this overinflated market all of your current insurance policies, home, health, auto, life, because everything has gone up through the roof. Let me tell you this. They said the revolution will not be televised. Guess what? It's a revolution going on. And the first one is right in your own personal home, because your president-elect, he has rolled back the clock. And if I'm not mistaken, he's going to try to force, the technical aspect of the 13-14 Amendment. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you better look it up. And not only has done that, but it's repulsive that he's actually have rolled back, and the federal has told them to take down things that represent us. The Tuskegee Airmen no longer gonna have, acknowledgement of the war that they won for America. It's repulsive. It's ridiculous. But this is what you get when you vote for what you want. This is similar to when Moses went up to the mountain to talk to God, and he left Aaron down in charge, and the people told Aaron they wanted to praise the golden calf. And he tried to resist, but then he eventually gave in, and he gave him the golden calf, and that led him down to debauchery, reprobate minds, and sin galore. And guess what? You had this president who was elected one time, then he comes right back, and he's literally trying to roll back the clock to the 40s and the 50s. So how do you offset that? And I know before you even said, hey, you know what? You weren't down with the other candidate. No, wasn't down with neither one of them. But here's the reality. You need to tighten up your defense mechanism financially. You need to stop being consumers, and we need to stop racing to the bottom of the barrel and showing the worst of us on all of these platforms. And remember, when times are tough, people, especially your people, we tend to lean more into entertainment, socialization, to, live vicariously through other people. And for some reason, we are elevating these false idols to an all-time high where you almost can't even tell the difference between a righteous person or a debauchery. And that seems to be prevalent. So as it pertains to your family financing, these are the things you need to adjust. And it's nothing wrong with hunkering down. While you're hunkering down, make sure that you stay apprised on technology. Don't be afraid of technology. Embrace it for what it is, because you will be replaced by it. Make sure that your children are getting deeply educated in STEM and AI. That's imperative. Not playing the video games, but creating them. And I have to, raise my hand and make sure I get my youngest son, off that teat and start programming. It's something that had been taking classes for years, but it's getting off the track. And nobody's, what's the word I'm looking for? You see, I'm not impenetrable. So you have to go back, dust off the things that you know that you ought to be practicing, which I always say, master the hard things and life gets easier. Master the easy things and life gets hard as hell. And that's what we're going to see here for the next 12, 24 months. And you're going to see some people going to elevate more, and you're going to see people that are losing their minds. We're falling into a reprobate standpoint and a mindset in this world. And when you have people who are rolling out here and putting these demonic shows on, like the Grammys, and literally rolling out with lewdness and indecent exposure and calling it normality. So guard your children's eyes, guard their ears, and guard their heart. So much so, dust off the board games, sit down and engage your children and engage their minds in this nanosecond society that we live in now. As a saying, in BK1, it says, all that is good will be perceived to be bad, and all that is bad will be received as good. And we're seeing that right now. And the irony of it is, it's happening right in a month that was supposed to be dedicated to you, and they're kicking out all the worst of us. And at the same time, number 47, he's rolling back all these advances that you fought for in the month that Carter G. Woodson initially created as a week, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fact check me. So when you're looking across the landscape and you're on here on these platforms and you're more gossiping, because that's all these platforms are. Everything that makes money now is all about negativity. Negativity is the current currency in the new black. Very rarely do you see a platform that is talking about positive, family, headship, that actually has a massive following. But you can easily put something out there into the stratosphere about negative, gossip, and lewdness, and it'll get millions, hundreds of millions of views, hundreds of millions of advertisers. And it's sad that when we turn on these platforms, even when they try to tell you about something good, they immediately go back into the gossip world. And our people are just proud to show how repulsive, degenerate they are nowadays. So don't, blame the finger. How about we lock down financially and be good stewards and roll back the clock to where decency used to be and traditional household standards were. That's what family finance is all about. Don't complain. Go put in that work and catch yourself when you're starting to, gossip and all that good stuff. And if you even think that you're sending somebody good information, but it's bad information, remember this: anything that you're exposed to mentally, your brain can only dilute it. It cannot eliminate it. So you should be cautious about how quickly you are to just send somebody something on Twitter, send somebody something from TikTok, send somebody something, from, YouTube or whatever, a clip that you think is telling them a story. But guess what? How about instead of sending them something, how about you engage in some action? And then they'll see based on your action what they may or may not need to do. But if all you're doing is sending people links and quotes and negative stuff, all you're doing is making their life worse. Or you're just filling up their memory because they're not clicking on the stuff and they're deleting it. So how about show some diplomacy and be judicious in the information that you're trying to disseminate to other folks that don't even ask you for it? How about that? So with that said, you also see, the rollback on DEI. And it's amazing that a lot of you are complaining about that. But when you look at the statistics on these DEI programs, you're not even in the top 5 people that are benefiting from those programs anyway. The white woman is number 1. Go look it up. The alternative lifestyle group, they're ahead of you in benefiting from those DEI contracts. The Latinos are ahead of you in benefiting from those DEI contracts. Facts. So if you're thinking that you're all of a sudden losing out on government contracts, federal contracts, because they roll back DEI, you might want to go do the research. And you want to understand and study and start position yourself on merit and great relationships. So right now, one of the best things you can do, if you never did, is hunker down on quality relationships and invest in helping people. And if you help them, eventually it will help yourself. Add value. And that's going to be counterintuitive right now because the mindset is that you're in self-preservation mode because you did not take advantage of the good times and put things away. All you did was be more of a consumer. And stop buying into that, oh man, our community, man, we're like the 3rd or 2nd largest economy in the world because we have a value buying power of $2 trillion. Buying power does not mean wealth building power. Think about that. That means you are a consumer. And the irony of it is to show you how much so you are a consumer. The Chinese and the Koreans are willing to back you for reparations because they know if you were to ever get reparations, you're going to turn around and get that money right back to them in the form of wigs, nails, BBLs. So, of course, they're going to get on your side so they can get the money right back from you. Think about it. Have you even given that a thought? Have you engaged in a financial education class? Have you engaged in believing in yourself? So we're about to have the spectacle of the largest event in America that happens once a year. How ironic it happens during, Black History Month. But the irony of it is guess what? It's just slavery on display at the highest level. So you're going to have 120, 130 million people watching a spectacle of, steeds and labor creating hundreds of billions of dollars for the plantation man. And in exchange for that, you're going to watch majority of those people that have these 7, 8-figure contracts laying down with the bed winches of another race. So they thus in return, turning that money right back over to them. Think about it. So you could stop all of that by just stop participating and stop being a spectator. But that's not going to happen. Another thing that you want to do on the financial side, if you are a senior citizen, make sure you have all your homesteads. Make sure you have all your senior citizen discounts. Make sure you're petitioning your tax assessment of your home. Appeal. Even if you were to lose, it's better that you appeal than not. I appealed mine every year. Year before last, I won. which was significant because they're just gradually taking things up. You got now all these, unnecessary tariffs and stuff that are going to be, increased and added, and you see it right in the grocery store. It finally hit me. I was in the grocery store yesterday, and lo and behold, man, eggs were $9 a dozen for quote unquote organic, cage-free eggs. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, it's all the same, man. It's all the same. They have so much slickly marketing that most of that stuff that says organic on it, most of that stuff that says cage-free, is not. The FDA allows them to get away with a whole bunch of stuff. I went there yesterday. I looked at blueberries, organic and non-organic. Twice the price. Twice as less. Amazing. How do I know it's organic? Did I see it being grown without pesticides and everything? Or did they just slap a sticker on there and say organic and then slap on twice the price? Because here's the thing. You're participating by the rules that they give you, but you expect them to play by the same rules. Doesn't work that way. So you have to start going back to old school, making your own stuff, growing your own stuff. But that's too hard. So we take the easy road out. And guess what? Rolling back all the other government programs, Section 8 and all that, rolling it back. So get ready, hunker down. Think about the stuff that you spend money on and the frivolity of it, and ask yourself, do you really need it? And once you make it through this challenging time and you stay on the, steady track, don't allow yourself to slip off and start going back to that frivolous stuff. Because it's so easy. And again, stop putting these people on pedestals. I mean, Malcolm X said it the best. We're the only community that take leadership from appointed actors, entertainers, and athletes. And today, it is more prevalent than ever. And they're going to keep marching them out to keep emptying your house. And why they doing that? Taxation is going through the roof. Limitation of freedom and rights are being diminished and revoked. And now everybody's in a panic and an upheaval. So the revolution ain't going to be televised, but it's going to happen, because one of the things going to happen. You're either going to rise up or you're going to no longer exist into extinction. So from a family finance standpoint, hey, go check all the basics and see which ones you're not doing and get them done. Most importantly, check your health. See, this assault is coming in 3 phases. It's a spiritual warfare, number 1, a health warfare, number 2, and number 3, a financial warfare. So the saying is, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And the more and more we lean into a matriarch and all this technology, and I could be by myself, and men are not standing up to be men right now, We're going to have a financial, catastrophic, permanent setback. But that can all be reversed if you just stand up, roll up your sleeves, and get that work done. And it's not that easy. But here's what you can do. Take it one day at a time, literally. Set a goal for one thing productive a day and accomplish that. And then the next day, set a goal for another productive thing for you to accomplish. And this way, you can overcome it. But again, when you overcome it, you have to make sure you don't start getting laxed. Because one thing we're great as a people, we know how to survive, but we have to capitalize on thriving. We have to capitalize on working together, which in reality is probably never going to happen. However, you have to be positive to find people that are willing to work with you. And then most importantly, you have to have the discipline that when you see somebody who's working and doing something successful, but their inner circle doesn't look like them, maybe you should not patronize them. Easier said than done. Because your counterpart, I don't see them surrounding themselves with a lot of you. No matter how talented, how accomplished you are, you very rarely see any of us in their inner circle. And if they do have one of us in their inner circle, that person is probably 10 times sharper than they ever will be. And they're using them as the tool that they want them to be. Think about it. It's amazing. So no need to, get all left side. Just go back to the basics and check your house. Pay attention to your inventory. And whatever you don't have, first and foremost, get right with God and ask Him to give you wisdom and discernment in all your ways. And then check in the mirror and ask yourself the 11th commandment, which is, thou shalt not jive thyself. Once you line those things up, then get into these basic financial fundamental principles and everything will be right. So remember, it's three things going on: spiritual, health, and financial. If you have your health, you can overcome everything. But if you don't have your health, man, it's going to be almost impossible. That's the reality of it. So we are focusing on Family Finance Friday to always stay real, sincere, and provide the best information we possibly can for you so that you can engage. And I'm not saying don't have a good time in life, because you only live once. But make sure you're going to set the platform and the foundation that your name and your legacy, that name on the back, will be here as long as there's an earth. Because all these big companies, all those are the names of their families. Ford, that was their name. Kellogg, that's their name. Which name and which company and which legacy do you have that's even more than a generation? Think about it. And another thing I would encourage you to do, which is typical in our community, stop trying to hit the grand slam. Stop trying to hit the half-court three-point jump shot. How about get that base hit? Get that walk. Hit that mid-range jumper. Make some free throws. Consistency and discipline always outperforms highly talented, highly gifted people because they generally are trying to hit home runs, catch that 80-yard bomb, or hit that half-court three. And what has happened is turn the game into nothing but boring and terrible product. And that's the same thing that's going to happen in your household. Go back to the basics. Yep, they're not sexy, but you know what's sexy? When you're in this time and everything's being rolled back, taxes have gone up, freedoms are being taken away. But if you stay true to the fundamentals, you're solid. That's the key thing. Get back to that. And in this time, turn off the entertainment. Scale back on the, consumption of social platforms. Our whole world has become controlled by social platforms. But if you look at China, they have a law that their children cannot consume more than 3 hours of it a month or a week. I think it's a month. And they force them to learn technology. And any wonder why they're the ones that are dominating? So here's another financial tip for you. If you have young children, age 3 to 12, man, you better teach them how to learn Mandarin. You better teach them how to learn coding. I was talking to my young daughter when I was taking her to school yesterday. I said, hey, how's the coding class? How's the robotics class? And she was like, oh, Dad, they just decided they want to discontinue. I said, well, I guess we won't be going to that school next year. Because guess what? She doesn't know how to code. She ain't heavy on engineering and math. I don't care how great of an artist she is. She's not going to have any security. And I told her, I said, you got to be like your older brother. He's a software engineer. And he's got a boatload of other things that he loves doing. But guess what? He's going to always be relevant. So this is just like you having your children take care of their hygiene. You ought to make that a mainstay in your house. Sit your butt down, learn this AI, learn how to code, learn those languages. And if you hate me for it now, you will love me later. Because here's the hard facts, ladies and gentlemen. And they always have these great success stories. I think they were promoting some girl that won a Grammy. Oh, she got fired from her job, but look now, she's up on stage receiving a Grammy. Okay, let's keep it real. That's a 1 in 3 to $4 million odds. 1 in every 4 million steps across that stage. Those other 3.999 million, they failed and they're living on the streets in the slums in Chicago, LA, San Francisco, Oakland. See, they don't tell you that story. But the ones who put their children in the deep STEM programs, they are 1 out of 1 successful. Here's the reality. Those people you see up on these, stages and you're, oh man, I wish I could, be making 10, 5, a million, 50,000 a month like them. They live in the neighborhood and it's only one of them live in the neighborhood, but their next door neighbor, doctor, engineer, principal, small business owner who owns a technology company, HVAC company. Think about it. I walk out my door, man, there's only one other family, no, 2 families that look like me. My door, I turn around and I got Eastern Indian, business owner. white family to my right, white family to my left, professionals, Filipino family at the front of my cul-de-sac, nurses. You follow me? I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. But if you're out here and your child, man, I'm gonna be a basketball player. I'm gonna be a football player. Man, that's great. Your daughter, I'm gonna be an actress. I'm gonna be the artist. That's great. While you doing that, let's get some of this STEM rocking. Let's get this science. Let's get this technology, especially the technology, because that's an equal open playing field that it's all new. So that's not something that's dominated by them because it's all new. So you have the same advantage they do because the technology is evolving every day that you can get on it and learn it just like them. So why not give your child a heads up and force them to do that? Do some real parenting. Or the opportunity is they'll get out here and be overly sexualized. And they'll think it's okay to be on OnlyFans. Or they'll think it's okay to do raunchy, degenerative comedy because he gets laughs. Hey? But I know when I go into, the doctor's office, I very rarely see any of us with the white coats on. Let's keep it real. I go into the CVS, I very rarely see any of us behind the counter to the pharmacists. What you ought to do is teach your high school child, hey, let's just go look in and see what the highest paying salaries are and what professions outside of entertainment and athletics. You'll see chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, software engineer. Starting out 150, 200,000. Oh, I can't. Yeah, you can do that because those people that become those, they're not the brightest. They just focused. And here's the irony of it. Most of those people have a good aptitude for the math, but they're not geniuses. And they graduate with a B or C plus average, they're going to make six figures. Most of your doctors graduate at the middle of the class. Go do the research. I know a handful of doctors that went to alternate medical schools in like St. Thomas, Martinique, because they couldn't get accepted in the top tier medical schools here in the United States. But you know what? They're all now top paid doctors. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So, who knows your body better than you? What do I mean by that? So, March last year, 2024, went in and get my regular physical. I get a new physician because my family practitioner, who's a real good friend of mine, moved out of the neighborhood. After I had known him and played baseball and coached his son for about 7-8 years, they moved, So after like 10, 11 years, I had to get a new physician. So, they just showed in the network, boom, pull up some guy name, got a Asian Indian name, young guy, maybe about 35, maybe about 40, scratching 40, right? He takes, the meds and everything. I mean, not meds because I don't take any medication. I've never had to be on medication. But he does the physical, right? He does the physical, and he goes and checks my records, right? He checks my records that a physical from like 2019, which made no sense to me. And he automatically comes back and he tells me, oh man, you got this and this going on. I need to put you on, these drugs and everything. You're pre-diabetic, and man, we think something might be wrong with your kidney. I ain't never had a kidney problem a day in my life. This dude spends about 10 minutes with me. I said, really? I said, how about we retake these exams, and before you try to administer me and prescribe me some drugs, because this is what they did. So once you take the exam, go get the blood work. Oh, we need you to come in. Oh, well, what's going on? Oh no, you just need to come in. So I go in. Oh yeah, this is a little spiked, which it was a little spiked, because I started enjoying life a little bit more. But we saw this and that. Okay, man, that's not that. Oh, well, you got to get these drugs. You got to get that. I said, no, we're not going to do that. So I go back, do me some research. Go back and cut out some stuff. Eliminate the sugars again, because again, I'm a late night person. So I tend to, like to snack late night. You snack late night, you sleep on it. Guess what? All the, things go up. I hit back and increase my regimen of my workout. Boom. Fast forward 6 weeks later, I demand, hey man, we're going to retake these tests. Retake the test. Oh man, oh, you're great. Well, what'd you do? Well, I know myself better than you do. Here's my point. Was he top of his class? No, he wasn't, but he's trying to tell me something that ain't true. I tweaked some more stuff, and now my blood pressure, I take it every day. Man, yesterday, I'm 100/60. Consistently, 92/59. I ain't never seen blood pressure that, and that's not low blood pressure. Man, that's primo, because I'm checking with my other doctor that is top 1%, that looks like us. Shave off, 20 pounds and put on like 10 pounds of muscle. You can go back and look at the old videos of me just on this platform. How does that tie into family finance? Well, guess what? At my age, the average person my age is on 2-3 different drugs. Them 2-3 different drugs running them $200-$300 a month. That's $3,600 a year that I'm saving. But most importantly, I'm living a better quality life. I'm not consuming this fast food garbage. I'm exercising. I'm getting out, putting that work in. You see what I'm saying? So even as a licensed professional in the financial industry, when I can't get my, homeowners car insurance down to the lowest that I always been able to do, even though I got it, eliminated a little bit, it's still 30-40% higher. And I'm talking about battling and knowing stuff, and they still ripping off. But guess what? I ain't paying excess of healthcare premiums, meds. You follow me? Guess what? Another thing I'm not paying a premium on. Everything else. I open up, check my, FICO, 836. I'm like, damn, I ain't never been that high before. But that means everything else that I want to negotiate when it comes to money, I'm getting the premium. So can you. Think about it. So now you get special offers that most people don't get because, hey man, that 836 speaks volumes, baby. And guess what? I'm still going back and haggling to get my homeowner's insurance back to where it's supposed to be. My car insurance back to where it's supposed to be. But the reality is, the older you are, the longer you live, they try to jack you up. But if you're young and you got these tools in place and you put them in place for your children, they benefit now because now they're paying less and they're getting more. And this is the most important time where you should be buying stuff off season, out of season, getting those discounts. Clean the clutter in your home. The stuff you ought to be investing is some good books. Again, we've talked about this multitude of times. Invest in a BK1. Invest in a good health book. Invest in a good financial book. And invest in the right course and training to keep you sharp. That's most important. And every now and then, take yourself a little vacation. Go see a movie, but see it on a discount. Man, I get so excited on Tuesdays because, I belong to this program and every Tuesday come out with a special, man. Boom, get these $5 movies. Going to see one tomorrow, man. That's what the ticket costs to the movies nowadays. $20, man. Come on. $20. So you go take your date out. That's $40. You going to get a beverage, some popcorn. Boom. There go another $30. $100 to go to a freaking movie. Or what's the reverse of that? You got all these subscriptions, Hulu, Prime, all that stuff. Netflix just went up on theirs. Prime to go on. So when they start buying stuff, ladies and gentlemen, adding new programs like the NFL and spending record numbers of billions of dollars or $8 million on a 30-second commercial, who you think they passing that cost on to? They passing on to you, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer. Real talk. So when you're watching the Super Bowl ads and you're getting your laughs in with them, be looking for that increase in your bill too, because it's coming. And it probably already hit you over the head already. So again, you get that tax refund. Apply the basics in finances. Get that tax return. Don't be going out here taking these exorbitant trips if you don't have zero consumer debt, if you don't have emergency fund, if you don't have your house paid off or paid down significantly. Knock those down first. Now you done knocked all those down, man, take the best trip you can take. Buy the best thing that makes you happy and invest in your future. That's what you ought to do. So, as always, I get on and start talking because these are serious times now. Nothing wrong with having a good time and everything, but when it's serious, we got to get to serious matters. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come in and wrap this thing up. Because, it's not really about, being on these platforms and talking for 2-3 hours. Because here's the reality. You're not listening anyway. But if we have said something, shared a story with you that makes it impact your household, then job done well. So you're watching Family Finance Friday with Nick Westbrooks. And yours truly, DJ the Money Coach. And we're going to be right back after these words from us for you. Together, we'll win and thrive in 2025. On the beaches of the World Club and our brand new resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. That's right. 7 days, 6 nights, transportation, excursions, personal chef, and beautiful sunsets on the white sand beaches of Zanzibar for only $9.99 or 3 easy payments. So come join us on the beaches of the World Club in paradise during Black History Month. Out everything. We're going to give you a master training, 3-hour course, 2 consultations. We're going to teach you how to build credit up to $100,000 interest-free for 18 months. Pay off your home in 7 to 10 years. And most importantly, create $8,333 a month passive income. It's a $997 course. You get it all today for $97. Hit that link and beat me to the master training. Are we back? All right.
There it is. Yeah.
Sometimes you have a little glitch, but we just keep rocking, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, so we're back. You're watching Family Finance Friday. It is February 7th, 2025. We're live with my main man, Nick Westbrooks, and we're having an enjoyable Friday. We're going to wrap this thing up real well. So, hey, you know what? Take advantage of the programs. Help you, help yourself. And let me tell you this, you know what's coming up next week? You got that fictional holiday that's coming up that the women pressuring you to do stuff that you normally don't do. So be wise, okay? Be wise. You have a wife and you love her and you should be loving her 365, 24/7. But if you haven't, hey, get the special. Because at the end of the day, guess what your wife really wants from you? She wants to know that you love her, you appreciate her, and she's still your number one, your ride or die. Does not necessarily mean you got to go out here and forfeit the ranch or spend, way over. And if you do have a spouse like that, I hate to tell you, you got the wrong one. If you have a girlfriend like that, you got the wrong one. Real talk. Because just like with Christmas, 60, 90 days later, they're not going to recall any of that stuff. Real talk. I was just asking my daughter the other day, hey, did you open up and take advantage of that one gift that I gave? Oh, no, I haven't. It works just like that, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're not putting in that work, and dating your wife, your fiance, your girlfriend on a regular date night once a week, that fictitious holiday is not going to do much. It's going to be putting a Band-Aid, on a canyon. Real talk. But hey, and here's the funny thing about it. Why is it that it's men having to buy chocolates, flowers, and perfumes and candles? Why aren't the women doing it for the men? Let that seep in at home. And if some chance you amazing woman, Proverbs 31 woman, and you're watching this amazing show, how about you flip the script and you go do something special for your husband, your fiance, your boyfriend on that fictitious holiday coming up next Friday? I challenge you. Because I thought about that, I thought about that. I was like, okay, man, what am I going to get my mom? What am I going to, get for my daughters? And I was just saying to myself, I'm not being selfish, but I said, I don't remember a time when that was done for me. I can only reflect and remember when it becomes important is that one day out of the year. It used to be 2 days out of the year, but now it's only one day out of the year, my birthday. But any other ones, it's all based on what? You catering to her whims. And she's catering to the whimsical things that she's been programmed by society to be a what? A consumer. Now, don't take this the wrong way, ladies. But if you sincerely don't have that challenge and you're not into the vanity or the superficial things in life, then these words have nothing to do. Because maybe you're that Proverbs 31 woman that's cooking that great meal for your guy next Friday. And then he's taking you where you want to do, getting the thing, because y'all doing it the right way. It's real talk. Because guess what? You know, when all the roses, just like Christmas, when are the bulk of roses and flowers purchased for the whole calendar year? Right now, baby. What great programming. Remember, $8 million for a 30-second spot on Sunday. All programming, baby. All programming. You go in the grocery store, you go into any store, what they got? They got it all rolled out. Hey, man, you better get that. They don't have that for your day. Think about it. Think about it. That's just a thought to help you, resonate on. And guess what? If you happen to be that Proverbs 31 woman and you've been doing what you're supposed to do, then you rightfully so, your husband, your fiance, your boyfriend, he ought to be rolling out the red carpet, but you ought to make sure he has everything else in order. Take a financial checkup from the neck up, and if everything's in order, all right, let's splurge a little bit. And at the end of the day, guess what? Doesn't matter what the cost, or does it really matter of how it makes you feel and the value that he shows how important you are to him? Think about that. Think about that. Because I've come to learn and understand the most valuable things I ever experienced, they actually weren't the most expensive. My youngest daughter, she gave me a handmade photo album taken from the day she was born up until the present day of my birthday and Christmas. And she put a lot of her time into it, put these pictures together. Man, I look at that thing every day, every other day, and it just brings me to tears because of the love and the moments that's most important illustrated and expressed through what we mean to each other. Real talk. Think about that. And that's the type of woman that we're raising over here. Real talk. But if you automatically, your default is, oh, did you get me ABC European name product? Did you get me ABC name blah, blah, blah? Then what does that really say about you? Think about that, sister. We're working on a project right now, and I just happen to, doing some work and putting out some, callers to potential, clients. And this is the first time I really had to pay attention to the social media because I don't do it. And I just realized it just reaffirmed that, man, unfortunately, like 90% of the stuff, it's all about selling your wares. What I mean by that, it's the Kanye effect. We have made degenerate, lewd things now normal, which now they become accepted. And that's all that's on most of these. It's a couple of currencies: attention, lack of self-image, and sex. And the third one leads to greed. There's not hardly any substance, dignity, and respect on these platforms. It's how many likes, how many views. I don't care what I got to do to get it. Number two, what's going to trigger that to get those views and those likes? Oh, I'm going to show them everything I got. Leave nothing to speculation. And when I do those two, I'm going to get those dead presidents. Think about that. Think about that. But guess what? You can't think about it because you now live in the nanosecond world and your life is controlled by this. So, with that said, I don't think we have too much more to say. We're an hour and 1 minute in, but I do hope you enjoyed the show. And if you enjoyed the show and you enjoyed some of these stories and you learned the points from these stories, hey, share, like, and subscribe if we added value to your house. And what I want to say before we get up out of here, I want to, say a homage and a thank you to, Urban X. They closed their doors, which was amazing to me. Hey, Malcolm and the Black Dot, man, you guys did a great job as a father and son team for almost like 8-9 years. And I hope you guys have, better and greater horizons. I mean, now, Malcolm, has got a family. And it's amazing, but it's a shame that program has closed their doors and shut down their podcast because they were adding some value, to the community. But again, sometimes things get stressful, people grow out and things just change. And sometimes things just get old and you move on to higher, peaks in life. So I want to say a shout out to them and wish you all the well and best wishes to your, young family and massive continued growth. Most importantly, so, hey, man, like I said, you're watching Family Finance Friday, February 7th, 2025. We're always excited to come here and share these truths with you. And we want you to continue to enjoy, the pom-pom lifestyle, which is plenty of money, peace of mind. You may think it's harder to achieve that, but you can still do it legally, ethically, and morally sound. You got to come to it like a rhino. Okay? Rhino. Running headstrong into negative opposition creates real men and women with the pom-pom lifestyle movement because it can't be stopped. So on behalf of Nick Westbrooks, I'm DJ the Money Coach, and we want you to come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. And today's beach is common sense and fundamentals so that you can stay steady through a small storm because the sun will shine indefinitely in your life. We'll see you next time. Join us on the Beaches of the World Club in our brand new resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. That's right. 7 days, 6 nights, transportation, excursions, personal chef, and beautiful sunsets on the white sand beaches of Zanzibar for only $9.99 or 3 easy payments. So come join us on the Beaches of the World Club in paradise during Black History Month. Out everything. We're going to give you a master training, 3-hour course, 2 consultations. We're going to teach you how to build credit up to $100,000 interest-free for 18 months. Pay off your home in 7 to 10 years. And most importantly, pay $8,333 a month. Passive income. It's a $997 course. You get it all today for $97. Hit that link